So here's what we're going to do. In your mind, I'd like you to imagine that you have a deck of cards. So reach into your imaginary pocket and pull out your imaginary deck of cards and open it, take out your cards, and start shuffling them. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take your picture because this is just ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. I can't believe you did it. That's great. While you're doing that in imaginary world, I'm going to do something in the real world. I've got right here in my pocket, I thought I had it clipped. There's a bulldog clip. So let's see if I can see someone that I don't know. I know some of you here tonight, but I see a gentleman with a blue shirt, looks like a black overshirt or a jacket, and brunette hair. He's looking at me right now. To your right is a woman looking over her shoulder. Yes, hi there. So, but the gentleman here, what's your name, sir? Yes, sir. I'm John. John, it's nice to meet you. Did you shuffle your cards? Please take any one of them out that you like, any one that you like. Look at it. Which one did you get, if you don't mind my asking? The Jack of Clubs. Is there any way that you could, would you do me a favor and fold the Jack of Clubs in half and then in half again? And now, if you will, please pitch the Jack of Clubs up here, imaginary, and I'll try to catch it. So there is a card. We'll just take it off the clip. And you said the Jack of Clubs. And that is the one that we caught right up here on stage. That's really good. So I've gotten you into using your imagination. This act that I'm doing for you tonight, this performance that I'm going to share with you tonight, is really a function of the clarity of your thought. So hopefully you've only had one drink so far, because in order for this to work, you have to be able to think clearly. What I'm going to share with you in my set tonight is an exploration of a branch of the illusion arts called mentalism. So not really sleight of hand or that sort of thing. You're going to see some of that done very well later. But tonight I'd like to share with you an exploration of the human mind. Things that you can do if you think really carefully, simulations of other experiences like mind reading, ESP, predicting the future. It's very powerful to think about that. I will be forthright and say I don't quite believe in all of that for real, but I do believe in very strong theater. And that's my goal for you tonight. So first I have to get my mind into a mode of thinking clearly and trying to absorb what you're going to do and making decisions very quickly. So in order to do that, I will ask everyone in the room to please think of a two-digit number. A two-digit number. And I'm going to ask some of you to call your two-digit number out in just a moment. And I will start with, is that Frank? No? Oh, I'm sorry. Against the wall. Your name, sir? Larry. Larry. Please name any, what was your two-digit number? 17. An interesting choice. I shall write it in the European style, so there's no questions later. Is there a reason that you chose the number 17? No, it's just a random number. Very good. And let's go to, I see a woman between two children in the row behind. What was it? Chasta? Chasta? What was the number you were thinking of? 8. We'll go with it. That's 8. I don't want to, I'm going to go with it just because that's what you said. Is there a reason that you like the number 8? It's a very lucky number maybe in some cultures. And let's go on to, how about the African-American gentleman in the row three seats down from Shasta? Yes, sir. What's your name? Benny? What was the number you were thinking of? 22. Does the number 22 have some significance for you? When you were playing soccer. I played soccer back in the day, a little rec league. I played halfback. You can tell, obviously, the physique has stayed with me the entire. And then let's move on, finally, to how about Sean? Please name a number. 25. It's a little close to that, but we'll go with it. That's fine. That's 25. Does 25 have a specific meaning for you? Just sounded good. Very good. I like the way you think. So as a committee, ladies and gentlemen, you have made 4 random decisions. You've got 17 and 8, which together makes 25, which with that 25 makes 50, which with this 22 makes a total of 72. Would you agree? Math people, that's 72. So raise your hand if you're wearing a watch. Nobody wears a watch. Oh, some of us do. Do you have a second hand on your watch? No? No? Does anyone have a second? Please look at that and give me, on your mark, get, set, go. I get 60 seconds, and I'll fill in the rest of these numbers in hopefully an entertaining way. Let's see. Ready? Set? Go. Holy smokes. Okay. We'll go there, and we'll go there, and there. And let's see. I'm trying to make some changes and calculations that might allow this to, I'm going to have to repeat a number, I'm afraid, but we will see how many seconds have passed.
20, 30, 25.
25? In my effort to impress you, I may have rushed. So I reserve the right to try again. But just for fun, let's see if in 25 seconds, with the random number you chose, if we add up the top row, 17 and 21 is 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 52, 62, and 10 makes 72. The first row adds up to the random number you chose. I thank you. My 6th grade math teacher thanks you. But if you clap after every one of these, this is going to be the whole show. Let's take a look. 26 and 8 is 34. 34 and 20 would be 54, but that makes 53. 62 and 10 is 72. Third row, 9 and 23 makes 32, 42, 52, 60, 72. And last 20 and 20 is 47 and 25, 72. All 4 rows add up to 72 in 25 seconds. But wait, there's more, because if you look at the first column, 17 and 26 is 30, 42, 43, 52, and 20 is 72. 29, 32, and 40 is 72. 24 and 9 is the same as 23, and 20 is 43, 44, 45, 52, and 20 is 72. And 10, 19, 18, and 25 also. All 4 rows, all 4 columns in 25 seconds. Proving that not only am I good at math, but I have a lot of free time. But wait, there's also more, because if you look at the first diagonal that we did, we know that adds up to 72, but 10, 19, 23, and 20 also adds up to 72. So both diagonals, 4 rows, 4 columns, 2 diagonals. But let's look at quadrant number 1. 17, 21, 8, and 26 adds to 72. 24, 10, and 2 19s add to 72. If we add quadrant 3 or quadrant 4, 4 rows, 4 columns, 2 diagonals, and 4, center quadrant as well. All of those add up to 72. If you look at opposite pairs on the sides, 21, 24, 20, and 27, 72. If you look at 26 and 9, 19, and 18, 72. If you look at the amount of change in my pocket, that would have been awesome. But if you look at these mini diagonals, 18, 7, 26, and 21, if you look at 24, 19, 9, and 20, those add up to 72. If you look at any tictac-toe board on this matrix, so 3 by 3 matrix, and you add the corners, 26, 19, 7, and 20 adds to 72. Or if you add 23, 18, 21, and 10, that adds to 72. Or even the 4 corners of the entire board add up to the random number you created for me only moments ago, 72. We did it in 25 seconds. I think that deserves, well, it deserves free drinks for everybody, but we can't afford that, so I'll take a round of applause instead. That's very good. Let's set this down. I think I'm ready to move forward with some more amazing mind reading. Let's see. I'm going to try to start with some very familiar symbols. Do we have any card players in the room? Anybody in the room who plays cards? We've got a gentleman here who's a card player. Oh, we've got 2 gentlemen right there. Can I ask the 2 of you to come join me on the stage? Please welcome them as they come up to the stage. So, hi, Brent. It's nice to see you. If you'll come over to stage left. What's your name? James, it's nice to see you. Thanks for standing to my right. I'm going to try to imagine what it would be like if we could go to Las Vegas and play cards but know what the other people had in their hands. That would be spectacular. So what I've got, to prevent any sleight of hand, I don't want anybody sneaking cards up their sleeves or anything like that. I know how you guys are. So I've got a big deck of cards right here. They're all different. They are not all the ace of spades or anything like that. We'll mix those up just a little bit and set them right here. And Brent, if you will, please lift off like you were going to cut the cards. You can cut anywhere and just set them over there. So this is the spot that you cut to. And how many cards do you think we should use in this example? Maybe you each have a hand of blackjack or bridge or poker.
Blackjack's fine.
Well, you know, blackjack's only a couple of cards. So let's go with, how about we give you, how about we just take a random number? Cut another set of cards from that location that I could. Perfect. And just if you'll take those, Brent, and deal them back and forth. Deal those back and forth. We'll set those aside. So now you've each got a hand that nobody put that down. That's perfect. And take any hand that you like for yourself. You take any hand that you like for yourself. Feel free to shuffle them up. And if you'll stand behind me, and I'll stand in front of you, and that way I can't possibly see what cards you're looking at. And look at your cards. And if you go through them, let's focus on the face cards. And let's just see if I can zoom in on a really good card. Since you started, one of you has the Queen of Diamonds. If you have the Queen of Diamonds, please hand it to me. Do you have the Queen of Diamonds? Thank you. And that would be the Queen of Diamonds. And I think also, you might also have the Queen of Spades. You had a pair of queens. Hand me the Queen of Spades, if you will. Have the Queen of Spades. Very good. You shuffled these, right? You cut anywhere you wanted? Very good. And let's see. Let's go with you. I think you might have, I see a 7 of clubs. Do you have a 7 of clubs? I'll take the 7 of clubs. Is that the 7 of clubs? Yes. And you also have, I see a diamond. Look at your diamond. You have a 10. I see a very nice diamond. He had the queen, but you have a 10 of diamonds. And I think you also have an ace of, you have a pair of aces. Do you have the ace of hearts? I'll take the ace of hearts. But you have a pair. You were looking at the pair. That would be the ace of spades you have also. Let me take the, so he would have beat your pair of queens. That's really good. Let's go back and see if you've got the 6 of clubs. I think you have the 6 of clubs, if you'll hand me the 6 of clubs. And I think you also shuffled yourself a card that has historical value. It is rumored that when Mary, Queen of Scots, was sentenced to die, the warrant for her death was written on a playing card, which is now called the Curse of Scotland, the 9 of diamonds. I'll take the 9 of diamonds from you. Thank you very much. There's the 9 of diamonds. You know, in some cultures, when the shaman of the tribe breaks the apparent laws of nature in order to know what the others are thinking, they respond in one of two ways. Either they run fearfully from his presence, or they beat their hands together to make noises, which I think is a charming We still have a few cards to go. Let's go back to this side. I saw another club. I think you have no, you have the 4 of clubs. Let me have the 4 of clubs. You had a low club, and you have the 2 of hearts. I'll take the 2 of hearts. The deuce, you say. There's the 2 of hearts. You also have a red card. You have a couple of red cards, I think. You have, I think, the 7 of diamonds. I'll take that. And you also have a heart. Do you have, oh wait, you also have the 6 of diamonds? I'll take the 6 of diamonds. No? Oh, it's a red card. It's a heart. It is a 4 of hearts. I'll take the 4 of hearts. Thank you. There's the 4 of hearts. All right, and you're done. And that means that I'm left with, how many cards? You have 1 card remaining? 2 cards? 1 card. 3 cards remaining. Let's see. I'll try. You have a look at the suits. You have a club, a diamond, and a heart. Is that correct? You have the 6 of diamonds. And you have a club and a heart. If you will look at the club, it's they're both fairly low cards. I think their total, if you add them to 8, they add up to the number 8. One of them is the 3 of clubs, and the card that you have remaining is the 5 of hearts. And I think that proves the point. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You may go to your seats. All of this applause is for you. Watch your steps. And for those who would like to play for money after the show, just meet me outside in the parking lot, and we'll get a game going, and I'll have bus fare to Vegas. That'll be great. Let's see. Well, now that I've managed to do it with fairly simple symbols, right, a very limited number of symbols, I'd like to add on to this experience by trying to get a sense of things that have more possibilities. And again, all of this that I'm demonstrating is what we would call thought reading. I don't really believe in it, but this is where you have to have the thought first, and then I try to tell what it is that you're thinking, either what you're looking at or what you're thinking of, what you're focusing on. But let's be honest, there are only 52 cards in a deck, and we limited our selection of those very much. So we're going to try something a little bit different, expanding the possibilities. So I've brought some printed material. I was looking at the phone book earlier, but I'm not sure I'm up to that right now. But I do have some magazines. These are financial magazines. So, and then I have some fiction. Actually, it might all be fiction. I don't know. It could. I'm not positive what we've got here. I've got a classic horror novel. We've just finished October, and then we've got something called Fatal Sin. It's a Lifetime Network television movie. I'll tell you the plot in brief. This is great. In this, his 6th novel, author David Steele weaves a tale of lust, greed, and murder. With the popular interest in the occult and New Age sciences as a backdrop, appearances aren't what they seem as the hills of New England become the setting for what appear to be unrelated murders. Basic version of this: she loved him, he did her wrong, she killed him, and lived happily ever after. And that's pretty much every movie on Lifetime in a nutshell. So here we've got, let's go with... it was Monica. Monica, do you prefer books or magazines? Books? We'll go with the books then. If you'll just step up, and which book would you like? Walk to the edge over here. I'll meet you. We'll split the difference. You take the high road, and I'll take the low. Very good. Which would you like, Dracula or the Lifetime Network? Very good. That's your choice. That's fantastic. Take it back to your seat. And so you had your choice of any of these possibilities, but you've chosen that. If you would, first of all, check and see how many pages are in that book. I know that there are more than 250. I forgot how many exactly. 290? 280. And on each of those pages could be anywhere from a short line of maybe 5 or 6 words if it's finishing up a chapter, all the way to several hundred words on a page, right? So if you were doing that trick before, I could ask you to multiply 280 pages times the average number of words on a page. What do you think you would come up with? Like dozens, I'm sure. So I'd like you to open the book to any page you like. There are several thousand words in that book. I'd like you to open it to any page that you like. Move your finger up and down and stop anywhere on any page. Once you've done that, I want you to look around your finger. Give yourself like an inch of radius or diameter or something mathematical. And look, so you have a couple dozen words to choose from. Pick a nice long word. I don't want to use cat or car or book or table. I want an impressive word. And once you've got a word in mind, I want you to close the book. Would you agree that you had a completely free choice of many words that even to the last moment you finally zeroed in on one, but it could have been any of several? If you'll please pass the book to the lady behind you to your right. What's your name, ma'am? Peggy, please open the book at random to any page that you like. She's smiling while she's doing it. Either she's just going along for fun, or she's suffering fools gladly. Either way, Peggy. Very good. So she's got, it's a little dim out there, so very good. Open it to any page you want. Move your finger around the pages. Stop on any part of the page that you like. Look at a small clump of words. Pick a nice long one, maybe an impressive one, maybe a funny one if you see one. That's whatever. Close the book. So now each of you are thinking at a random word out of tens of thousands. If you'll pass the book back up. Sir, would you reach behind yourself and hand me that book? And that way, I'm not going to open it or look at it. We'll just set it down way over here. You also saw don't be saying he could be working with me. Don't tell other people what the word is. I mean, he could be wearing a radio. People think this is a microphone. No, it's just a microphone. So think of your words. You don't have to come on stage, but if you will, both of you, stand where you are. And so this is Peggy, and this is Monica. And in your mind's eye, I'd like you to imagine you're in a quiet cinema. Not too big, a nice small theater. In front of you is a large movie screen. This is a visual aid to help you. And it's just you. And in the dark, the word that you're now thinking of is being projected onto that screen in large black capital letters, all caps. Helvetica, bold, 4,000 point font. Have you got it? Now visualize the first letter, and in your mind go to the second, the third, the fourth, all the way to the last letter, and then bounce off it and work through the letters backwards again until you get to your first letter. And we'll see if I can zero in on either one of you and bring this to a successful conclusion. So think of your first letter. Don't say it. Peggy, thank you. I'll go with that for you. And Monica, I will be honest, I'm having a little bit of a not 100% on yours. I'm not positive, but we'll see. For what was your first letter? H. You didn't have an H. What was your first letter? V. Like victory V. I was not off on that. I had an I, which I guess is half of a V straightened. Partial credit? No, we're not going to get it. Actually, was that your second letter? Yeah. I is your second letter? If you will, think of your second letter. Don't say it. Don't say it. And I think also a vowel. I'll let you see that. What was your second letter? A. I had an A for you. If you will, let your mind go to the end of your word. Think of your last letter. Think of your last letter. Oh, very nice. Very nice. And think of your last letter. Also, these are very similar, interestingly. The letters that they are now visualizing have many characteristics in common. I see a number of straight lines, one more on one than the other, which is a very interesting situation. Peggy, what was your last letter? F. And what was your last letter? E. Very similar. Oh. Monica, if you will, let your mind drop into the center of your words somewhere at random and look at me. And I saw letter C. I saw letter C. Were you debating about the letter C? You were considering it, but you were considering it, but I sensed that you were like, were you measuring that it was too close to one end of the word? I got a sense that you were debating whether you should choose that letter. Let your mind drop into the middle of your word somewhere. And I see a couple of different letters going through your mind. You didn't like the E because we already said an E. I see an R, but I'm not positive about that. Don't give me anything. Don't confirm anything. I also saw a K, which I don't understand how that makes any sense. But I will go with it. Think of your entire word. They're not giving me a lot to work with in terms of body language. But I will go with this. One of them, I think, is thinking of an article of clothing or accessorizing like yourself. And one of them is thinking of some technology, but I think a rather obsolete form of technology. Peggy, what was the word that you were thinking of? Handkerchief. And Monica, what was the word that you were thinking of? Video cassette. Well, I already told you I don't really believe in mind reading, but I do believe in strong theater. You can have a seat. Thank you very much. Is everyone okay? Everybody's starting to get a little worried about what can he see, what does he know. Well, that part that we've done so far is mind reading or thought reading, and it's a certain form of mentalism that we would classify more as clairvoyance, right? The idea of seeing something that someone else is thinking of, telepathy in a way. But there's an entirely different branch of the illusion arts, still within mentalism, that relates to thinking thoughts that others have not yet thought of, and seeing events before they happen. And I wish I could say that I could do it with 100% accuracy on things that were meaningful. Well, I mean, many of us knew LSU was going to win, but so that's not. Oh, I know my Bama fans are all upset. I know. I'm not. Look, you can both lose. I'm a Mississippi State guy, so you both are beating us this year. So hooray! But I'm going to try to explore the idea of predictions. In order to do that, I need someone who might be willing to help keep me reasonably honest. And I see a woman making eye contact with me now against the wall, even further back into the dark, thinking she was hiding. What's your name? Rachel. Rachel, if you will, please make your way to the stage. Come on up. Hey, this is Rachel, everybody. Give her a big round of applause. Very good. Were you for LSU or Bama, or do you care? Neither way. Right, that's fine. Come on up. It was a great game. I can't wait. It's on my YouTube TV DVR when I get home. I'm going to watch. Rachel, thanks for coming. Come stand right over here. And have you ever helped a mentalist on stage before? Well, step in this way so you're not in the shadow. Perfect. Ah, perfect. That's good for the photos later, right? And so what we're going to do... Am I supposed to do like a... Am I supposed to do stuff now? I don't know. That's from when it's my gang thing. It's how we. I don't know why you're laughing. I was in the hood. I'm from the hood. It's a gated hood. All right. So here's the thing. We're going to make some predictions of people that I wouldn't know in advance that we were going to use, because you're going to choose who's involved. So here's what we've got. I've got a whiteboard so that we can keep not just me honest, but everyone else. So these are made of wood, and this is your standard issue college whiteboard, like you're going to do a class. We're not going to do calculus if any of you are having scary flashbacks or anything. I've got green and blue marker. Which one will be you and which will be me?
I'll be green.
You'll be green. That means I'll be blue. All worked out. So let's start with someone on this third of the audience, anywhere from the front to the back, anywhere in the house right, stage left third of the room. Point to anybody. Could be someone you know or someone you don't. Your choice. Who is it?
This lady right here with the meteorologist.
The meteorologist in the front row. Very good. And here's what I'd like you to do, ma'am. If you will, think about the idea. Wouldn't it be nice if in that earlier poker game we had won enough money, not just to buy drinks for everyone, but to take everyone in the room on a spectacular vacation anywhere in the world? Oh, that would be great. Oh, I think everyone's having very vivid pictures about where they could go and what we could do. I'd like you to, don't say anything out loud yet. I'm going to try to get a sense of the place anywhere in the world, city, country, your choice, of where you might take us on vacation. I'm going to make my prediction there. And so that you keep yourself honest, what was the place that you chose? Sydney, Australia. I think if you just write Sydney right there, that will be sufficient so that she doesn't change her mind. While she's writing that, I'd like to point out that 2 out of 3 predictions is still awesome. It might not be important exactly at this moment, but it could come into play later. So, Sydney, thank you, Rachel. If you'll point now to someone in the middle third of the room. Anyone in the middle third of the room?
Lady right here in the white shirt with the beautiful necklace on.
Lady in the white shirt with the beautiful necklace. Hello. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. I'd like you to think that when you're going to fly all of us to Sydney, you're going to be buying us plane tickets. All right? And you get to pick whether we're going to fly in the main cabin, if we're going to do Comfort Plus, if we're going to do first class or Delta One or whatever the choice, what airline. I'd like you to think, whatever airline in mind, whatever class of services in mind, I want you to think per person, if you have unlimited funds, right, what would you spend on each of our tickets per person? Don't say it out loud. What would the price of one of our round-trip tickets be? I'm going to make a prediction, and I don't want you to say anything yet. Now visualize it in your mind. And I've made my prediction. How much did you decide we should spend per ticket? $6,000. You are the most popular woman in this room right now. If you'll write 6,000, is that dollars? It's like $6,000. That's really good. I know. I'd like to point out that if I could hit 1 out of every 3 baseballs that was thrown at me, I would be for sure in the Hall of Fame. Guaranteed I would be in the Hall of Fame. Just saying that now. Please pick someone over on this side of the room. Anyone over on this side of the room.
The man on the very far end with the flower shirt and the glasses on your head.
It was James, right? James? Okay, I want you to decide. Not yet. Here's what you're going to decide. You're going to decide what day and month and day in the year we're going to go to Sydney, Australia. And before you decide, I'd like you to remember that Sydney is in the southern hemisphere. So the seasons are flip-flopped. I learned that. I was in Sydney earlier this year for a while doing some magic and actually did the bridge climb with my daughter. So I highly recommend, if you ever go, invest in climbing the Sydney Harbor Bridge. Spectacular. And if you want tips on how to do it and have a great experience, talk to me after. So I'll just put that out for Sydney. I'm going to make my prediction of what day of the year you might decide to have us go. And now, what day of the year did you decide that we should leave? What day? Month and day. May what? May 29th. May 20. Wait, I'm doing your job. I'm sorry. Here. Right. It has to be in green. If you'll write May 29. Excellent. Perfect. And now, if you will, let's recap. Oh, you already did. Very good. And all of this applause is for you, Rachel, as you go back to your seat. My beautiful assistant, who has kept me honest tonight. So we asked 3 people of Rachel's choice 3 questions about an amazing vacation that we could take together. And the first person said that we would go visit Sydney, Australia. Now, at first, I was thinking Europe might be nice. But at the very last second, I decided to change my prediction to Sydney, Australia. Sydney, S-Y-D-N-E-Y. Love Sydney. That was an 80s sitcom, wasn't it? That was that's strange coming back into my head. Very good. And then we said that we should spend $6,000 per person. That's a lot of almonds on the fly. And but I'm glad you went with 6,000 because my prediction was 6,000. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that tepid applause. That was no. Too late. It's just pity now. I can tell I'm grateful, but I can tell the difference. I've been married 24 years, so I can tell when it's for. And then the last thing, James said that we would go on May 29th, which is the end of spring here, and it's the end or mid-spring, and it's headed for summer, but there it's headed for winter, but it's nice in the fall there. And he said we would go on May 29th, and out of all the choices, I chose 5/29 for our departure date. Hey, that's a pretty successful prediction. Let's set that aside. Well, we've done some predictions, we've done some thought reading, we've done all kinds of different kinds. I think in the few moments that we have remaining, I will try one last prediction. One last prediction, and this prediction is something that all of us are going to participate in, and it does involve sort of another fantasy trip. So let me get a bigger marker that we can use, and we'll just set this aside. This was before y'all got here. I can't go into details about what that is. But I'd like us to imagine that now, instead of going to Sydney, Australia, we're going to take a somewhat shorter journey. And all of us are going to go visit Las Vegas. Raise your hand if you've been to Las Vegas, Nevada. Very good. Yes, home of showgirls and gambling and divorces. In Las Vegas, there are giant buildings designed to make you think they're going to give away money. They're called casinos, and they are, occasionally you might come out on the positive end, but generally speaking, it's a business to entertain you and divert you and feed and food and wine you. So we're going to go visit Las Vegas. We're going to go to a casino, and I will tell you that, I lost my glasses here, there are many casinos that are no longer standing. Many of them have been demolished over the years to make room for new ones. I have made a list of several that are current and past. And it was, what was your name? Ben. Ben, I've got the Tropicana, the Casino Royale, Circus Circus, the Riviera, the Link, Stardust, Harrah's, MGM Grand, the Desert Inn, the Hacienda, Sands, Palazzo, Excalibur, Treasure Island, Cosmopolitan, all kinds of different casinos. My friend Ben is going to decide which of the casinos in Las Vegas we should go visit. So I'd like you just to open it at random to any place. Just flip it open and just crack it open and look at the casino. Do you see a casino there? No. Well, then clip it a little bit higher so we get within the. Have you got one? Yes. So you've got the Bellagio. Bellagio. It's Italian. It's fragile. The Bellagio. That was my little holiday celebration right there. It was a little allusion for those of you who are paying attention. So we're going to go visit the Bellagio. We're in the Bellagio. We're going to play the dice. Oh, let's see. Who do I not know here? I've met so many people. What was your name? It was Brandy? Brandy, you don't have to come up. Let's say that you've walked into the Bellagio, all right? Oh, and you're a high roller, so they're treating you really nicely. And you've walked in, and you look down, and what color's the carpet? Red. Of course, it's the red carpet. And you're going straight to the craps table. And you've got the dice in your. Do you play craps? I don't either. But I know that you have 2 dice. And I want you to roll them. And I know that you can roll a random number from 2 to 12. What's the random number that you rolled? You rolled an 8. Is that good? I guess on the first roll it doesn't matter, right? That becomes I think you have to try to get an 8 again, right? I don't really play the games, but at least that's what I tell everybody. And let's see, let's go to someone else. How about the gentleman right here? Yes, what's your name, sir? Ash. Let's say that you're going to not play the dice game. You're going to play the game with the roundy wheel that spins, and they take the little marble, and roulette, and it's spinning around, and it's going to land, and it's a number from 1 to 36. So what number have you rolled? Did it land on? 29, and it has to be red or black, right? Is it 29 red or 29 black? So 29 black. That's excellent. And then let's see. We've got to do one more game, and I need someone else who might be willing to help. How about Janet? Janet, would you come join me on stage? Please welcome Janet to the stage. I was doing a little magic for you earlier, Janet, and that's how I knew your name. We've never met before tonight. And have you been to Las Vegas? Yes. Okay, so very good. Please watch your step as you join me. In order to do this last bit, I have to know not just if I can read your mind, but if I can project a thought to you. So I'm going to take a marker and attempt to project a thought to you. Let's see, if I write a word on here. All right. You didn't see what I wrote, did you? Very good. Set this down. And I've written a word in the English language. And it is a common word that you would recognize. And out of curiosity, don't look, do you have any idea the word that I've written down? That is correct. Very good. Very good. If you will stand up, stand up. We're going to put this down so that you can seal for your protection. Please have a seat right there and guard it. Just have a seat right on there. You are going to make the remaining decisions yourself. And for this, I do have a small deck of cards because you're going to have to be able to hold these in your hand. Let's put that there, and we've got red and black, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, the whole thing. We'll shuffle those up a little bit, and I'd like you to take them and put about half of the deck in either hand. Have you done that? You're going to get rid of half of the cards in the deck by dropping them in the basket. Get rid of either half, your choice. Take the remaining cards, mix them up a little bit if you like to, separate them half and half into each hand. And then once you've done that, half and half into each hand, and drop either half into the basket. And that leaves us with this chunk of cards right here, which we have several, 6 or 7 cards, different red and black. And we're just going to let you touch any one of those. It's your complete choice. Keep your finger on it. That's the one that you want right there. I don't know what card you've chosen, but I want you to hold on to that. You could have had the Jack of Spades, 3 of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds, 5 of Hearts, Ace of Clubs, or 9 of Clubs. But instead, you've chosen this card, which is what? We're going to play some poker, and this is going to be a lucky card for us. What is the lucky card?
6 of spades.
Maybe it's drawing an inside straight, right? It's not a real fancy card, but it's the 6 of spades. I think you might have noticed that prediction was in that envelope from the time everyone came into this room. Wouldn't you agree? And you were guarding it even when you chose the card. So I'll take this, and if you'll just stand up, we'll take this out where it's been safely protected. We'll reach in here and grab out my prediction, which says that we're going to visit the Bellagio. On a red carpet. It says that we're going to play games, including craps, where we would roll the number 8. And it says we would play roulette, where we would roll 29 on the black. And it says that our lucky card would be the 6 of spades. You did great. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Janet. You can go back to your seat. Oh, thank you so much for that. we'll just put this here. Well, that brings me to the end of my portion of tonight's program. So what we'll do is take about a 10 or so minute break, let everyone do their business in the back, whatever that business may be. Please support our good friends here at the Red Light Cafe by having another drink, ordering some food, whatever they have. Please buy it. That helps keep them happy and let us keep coming back. And we'll be back in a few minutes with more, and we'll do our drawing too. Thank you very much.